Hello everyone. How's everyone's morning? Alright, so starters, we're going to be doing something slightly differently with our palettes and stuff. So, for everyone who's here, today we're going to be painting the Mandalorians from Star Wars Legion. This is my first squad of 4 that I'm going to be doing. For those who play the game, that's because I'm going to paint my clan red separately for my Mandalorian Resistance. It's only an additional 1 model, technically. So it's not that big of a deal. But this will be our first squad we're doing. We're going to be doing it, if y'all seen the Mandalorian TV show, the Rebels TV show, it's going to be in the style of Clan Vizsla, which is like a black and white armor design. So I'm going to bring one up to the camera so you can see it. As you can see, Mandalorians look like Jango Fett. A little bit of lore. If the visor is a flat T like this, I don't know if it's particularly noticeable, but if the T visor is a straight T, it's a male, and if it's a angled T, then it will be a female. Those are like the men and women's armor, and you can actually kind of tell from like body type as well as like the other aspects of the armor also differ. That being said, this is only a batch of 4, so it's going to probably go quite a bit faster than the Shore Troopers, also because the Shore Troopers, I think, had a lot of like armor markings and stuff for us to do. And while these guys have armor markings, we will not be going for as heavy of a grunge look. Another thing is that because I'm kind of freestyling on my paints this time around, actually, we're going to be using a wet palette. So this here is a wet palette. This foam part is what holds the water, and then we use essentially like a hydration sheet to actually put the paint on. So that being said, to use one of these, it's actually pretty simple. Like, this thing is supposed to flatten out. It is normal for it to kind of curl up, but you'll notice that it's taking the water very well, and we want to give it a chance to soak up everything before we like too aggressively pour water, because you're aiming for essentially the water to come up to about midway on the foam. We're kind of just going to let that water creep in. Yeah, that's basically the gist of it. So you can see that the water isn't really all the way like into the wet palette. It's kind of hard to tell, but basically if this is a wet palette, the water comes up right below it. So you have like a little bit of a moat of water around the side, but that's about it. And then once we've done this, we don't paint directly onto the wet palette. Actually, get rid of one of these guys. A very, very thin sheet of paper, and that is our palette. So we just kind of directly lay it down. Might curl a little bit at first, but that's okay. And that is the gist of it. So a wet palette is really nice for multiple reasons, but one of them is that your paints will stay dry the entire time. Not dry, they'll stay hydrated the entire time. And then on top of that, it allows you to like kind of keep your paints essentially on the palette for longer, and it lets you do longer painting sessions. So, and it also means you usually don't need to mix your paints as aggressively. So, that being said, all that being said and done, we're going to go ahead and start with these figures here. I'm going to move this off to the side a little bit, probably like that. Actually, maybe better on that side, or would it be better on this side, actually? I think this side's fine. I like being able to see what I'm working with. So, the first thing we're going to do, let's go ahead and start with this guy because he has the most pronounced model. So, for starters, a little bit of chatting about the armor. What the armor technically is a cloth bodysuit with pieces of armor strapped to it. It's pretty obvious if you've seen The Mandalorian, but you'll see that there's like, I get my little pointer tool here. Like you'll see that this is just a plate of armor that's been put onto cloth. May not be particularly obvious, but that is the gist of it. I realize maybe I should get my camera a little bit closer because this is a little bit better probably. Yeah. So this is as you can see, there's like armor that's strapped to it, and like on the shoulder pads as well, there's like, it's essentially like ringlets of armor. So we're gonna be painting the cloth part of it first, and then we'll be doing the armor after that, because all of these guys are gonna have, these people are gonna have the same base armor, and then we'll add markings after that, after we're done. So that being said, what I have here in my notes is that I've opted to go with a 3-to-1 mix of black and dark sea blue for the cloth. So the cloth is going to be, and the other thing is, once we get some of our base coats down, these people that don't have a base, we'll be able to actually mount them to their flight stands, because they actually are going to be on a flight stand, which is kind of cool. But I wanted to paint everything to a degree before we get that flight stand on. Oh, I totally forgot. The other thing that I wanted to do before we get started is I wanted to get a little bit of primer onto the backs of these minis before we begin. So I'm just taking, this is a surface primer that I used to, that I actually used to, let's add a little. Yeah, but this is what we use to prime the figures before. We're just gonna, see, we don't want it to be, we want it like that. See how it like kind of sits there? That's what we're looking for. Let's use our shorter brush here. The reason that this part of the figure is not primed is because we had our sticky tack on this section. This is just going to allow us to actually be able to stick to the figure here, which is totally fine. That's good. And those can dry while we do the other. And the reason we prime, because there's actually like a compound in here that allows future paints to stick better. That's why we're doing that. Alright, so as we said, we're doing a 3-to-1 mix of black and dark sea blue. There's our black. Also, wet palettes typically are a little bit less wasteful of paint. About a 3-to-1 mix there. Maybe I'll turn it like this so that you can better see it. It adds a little bit of a blue tinge to it, and that's kind of what we're going for, actually. It adds kind of like an ethereal look. A lot of the other guides that I follow for Sarastro's painting do that with his blacks, so this may adds a little bit of cohesion with the rest of our army in doing so. So, go ahead and get started then. Actually, I'm going to move this palette over because the palette kind of in the way of where I want to be holding the miniature, like this. So we'll start by touching in the shoulder like this. And as always, it's okay to make mistakes. Starting a new project's always kind of exciting. I'm gonna work our way around that piece of armor. And it's okay if we edge up a bit on the armor, because the armor itself is just another dark gray as well. And for one, that's fine. And then for two, that allows us to get this into the crevices and then like actually kind of go on top of that with the armor. Yeah, that's the gist of it. Thinking if I need to go back there. I think I should. I think in this case they don't have back armor, so we're gonna they wear jetpacks, so we're gonna go through the back as well. Way around to the other side now. Mandalorians are probably the unit that I was the most excited to paint, so this is actually, for multiple reasons, a very exciting project because this is also the first time where I'm myself deciding what my paint schemes are going to be. That's really exciting as well. Kind of going on in a black that's very similar to the blacks of the primer actually, but I like to paint the gloves as well because I like to say that the gloves are part of the bodysuit. So they do have this little plate on them, not part of the bodysuit. Literally a guard for the back of the hand. Not incredibly interesting at this point since we're basically just putting various shades of black onto the miniature. It's essentially a black base with white armor markings, or like light armor markings on it. So because of that, a lot of this groundwork we're going to be doing is just putting various shades of black on. Okay. We did that plate on the arm. That's okay. We can hit it later. Another thing, so I'm gonna these edges a little better. Another thing is that because this is technically being seen through the armor slats, I'm gonna go ahead and trace the lines of this armor as well. Ugly right now, because I'm not super steady-handed on that, but it'll look good. The straps for these characters are black. We're just going to paint over them. Paint over the straps, but we will not be painting the knee pads or the legs. Hey, Experiment. What's up? Should I come to what? Garrett's thing last night? Oh, I can't go yet because I'm seeing my parents and we've been in a 2-week quarantine after flying to Kansas City. And since my parents are not vaccinated, we were quarantining for 2 weeks so that we could go see them. And because of that, we haven't seen them yet, so we couldn't go see people until we've seen my parents later this week. But it sounds like it was fun. Yeah, I did see it though. Who all was there? I mean, besides, John, Garrett, and Ashley, given that they were the people running it. Ben, Tanner, Hayden, Viet, Derek, Cam. Oh, gotcha. Pretty cool sounding. I've actually never met Cam in real life. But maybe that was your first time meeting him. I also thought their thing was on Sunday, but I guess I didn't realize that it got rescheduled. Maybe he did. Maybe he is. Maybe we've known him longer than we realize. I think he went to A&M with Ben. For what it's worth. That's my understanding. Alright, that is all the Armor blacks on this guy. Good. Oh, you're added to a group chat? Yeah. I was not in that group chat, so I guess because I didn't express interest or did not RSVP. Makes sense. That's nice of them to not spam the channel, though, with a bunch of details if other people aren't going. Oh yeah, I mean, if there is a limit to 10 people, I don't know if that apartment can take more than 10 people to begin with. But, you know, I suppose it's good to be ambitious. Right. I'm saying, yeah. I get that you meant the Discord group chats. I was just saying maybe that's for the best, given the size of their apartment. But having more than 10 people in there seems awful. Then again, I suppose we didn't do any different during college and stuff. Alright, let's knock this aside. That's okay. All these mistakes can be replaced, can be fixed later. So did y'all just like split up and play board games, or did you kind of everyone got together and played something? Ah, gotcha. Sounds fun. Glad y'all were able to do it. I also have never met John in person, actually. I don't know if you knew that. I've actually never met him either. I only knew him through the Facebook chat. Okay. These always start to speed up after the first one because you kind of sketch in where it's supposed to go. then from there you can yeah, that was actually the reason for them hosting that thing, I'm pretty sure. But John's pretty cool though. One of my best friends I've never met. Potentially, but I remember yeah, I might have like run into him and not realized who he was. Or like I didn't know him yet when I ran into him. Which is kind of a funny order to do things. Double check. Not sure. Let's give him a black soul, I guess. But we'll do that when we get kind of interesting that Mandalorian, like Jango Fett, I think had a crotch guard, but I don't think you see that on any of them. Or not newer, but the ones that they've made since. Be wrong though. I guess y'all had a late night last night. Probably explains the light crowd this morning. Dang, this guy's got... Oh, it's because he's... I see. Like, dang, this guy's got, like, a bunch of guns in his holster. Got 2 in his hands and 2 in his, on the side. That's because he's a Tristan Wren model who wields, like, a bigger gun. So because of that, he, I guess, keeps his, sidearm. This is a variation of that model. Am I watching Bad Batch? Yes, I am. I'm not entirely caught up. I haven't been watching it, like, religiously, but I do really like it. I tried to get up to the relevant episodes in Star Wars Rebels before painting these guys, actually. which is one of the things that I was trying to do. I did not succeed, but it's okay. I just did my research instead. But I've really liked Bad Batch. It's got so much like cool things of lore that they throw in there. Just overall, just a really satisfying anime to watch. It's also really funny because it's like the same voice actor like playing 6 people. At least I don't even know if that's actually the same guy playing all of them. It would be amazing if it was. And I think in my head canon, I'm just going to assume it is. Because that would be awesome. Have I heard of the good word that is invincible? Yes, I have. Like, think, Chris. Why would I not know about it? How's it going, Chris? Good to see you. We actually got our Tekken groove back pretty good last night. Yesterday morning, excuse me. The previous week I was really rusty, so I triple demoted all the way out of like the red ranks deep into the orange. And then during yesterday's stream, we just straight win streaked it all the way back basically to Byakko, which is about all the time we had for it. And we just basically ran out of time. It was a Negan stream. We kept playing against different Negans. Kind of funny. Yeah, let's do the, oh, we gotta do the hands. We'll do the feet. Something about really nicely sculpted models just makes me so relaxed. Like, I don't know what it is about seeing little people. Not little people, like tiny figurines, like miniatures of people, right? Like, so relaxing. I don't know. Poor choice of words, but yes, like tiny miniature versions of like soldiers and stuff like that. That's just like, or like, you know, like models and stuff. Like, it's very interesting, and I like it a lot. Even just looking at it, it's like, dang, this is so cool. And marveling at how like accurate the poses look and stuff. You know, realistically accurate. Believable poses and stuff like that. Super. Alright, let's do this dude's. Lay him on his back. Down on his side to nap. Let's go ahead and get this guy's boots done before we move on to the third person. Ooh, looks like a lot of people have joined. How's everyone doing today? If my brother's in the chat, let him know that if we finish the Metal Gear boss in time this Thursday, we're actually starting Nier. Thursday. Yeah, he's been on my case about it for a while now. He even got it for me as a birthday present like 3 years ago or something, and I still didn't play it. So, I guess it's about time. Definition on this one is not as good. Oh, you're starting Ghost of Tsushima soon. That one's a good game. That one's a real good game. I think you'll love it. Goofy is not the word I'm going to use. It's kind of weird. So we're gonna use this for the cape. Cape looks good. With it. Matches the color scheme. Have you played anything like You've played Dark Souls, right, Chris? So you've played like Sekiro. Ghost of Tsushima is kind of like Sekiro with a little bit less bullshit, basically. There's a lot of very familiar mechanics. Well, it's also like Jedi Fallen Order, actually, so I guess it's like an in-between of Jedi Fallen Order and Sekiro. Okay. Yeah, it's a good game, though. It's, yeah, that's how I would describe it. Like, Fallen Order, Fallen Order kind of has this weird, like, kind of cinematic feel to it, right? Where your character does a dodge, and it's a very, like, bizarre, like, cinematic, like, angle that he dodges at and stuff like that. If I remember correctly, Ghost of Tsushima was more snappy with the controls. So a little bit more, like, you know, less frustrating, I guess. But it's also got like a lot of enemies, and it's a little bit more actiony, but good. It's a real good game. Alright, let's try and get into that cape so that we can do the whole cape. Let's try and get into an arm. This is going to be the hard part, getting underneath the cape. But this is all one piece. So, no option for me to do it any differently. I'm not assembling the entire miniature. This is fine. We're not going to be highlighting that bit anyway. You know, because Beskar deflects, or, like, you know, is able to take a blaster shot, they got Beskar. There are swords made out of it. You could theoretically come up with a Mandalorian, like, force sensitive. Yeah, I know that's something that existed, but, like, if you didn't have a lightsaber and you only had a Beskar, you could still deflect blaster bolts, I bet. I had this interesting thought about the game releases for this. Like, what if they release Ahsoka and she's not just a Republic faction character? What if she's like, she has like a Republic version of her, but she also has a Rebels version of her? That'd be pretty interesting. They already introduced Mandalorians as a Rebels faction, so not entirely out of the question, right? I think Best God is also supposed to be this color, but we're gonna highlight it differently. So let's go ahead and make that black shade. Alright, let's alright, we got the other side of the bodysuit. One is probably the hardest one yet. Jesus, I'm watching the French Open Championship and it sure seems like the #1 in the world is hella choking. At the same time, the underdog is playing like a fucking god. French Open for tennis? Is that what I'm... Is that what you mean? Or is it something else? I don't know. I don't know my sports very well, but I thought that's what the French Open was. Is that the one where, like this Naomi girl or whatever, like actually bowed out of the whole tournament due to like reporters harassing her or something like that? That's my only bit of Reddit knowledge that I have on it. Yeah, tennis is the #1 Federer, or is it he's choking? He's supposed to be the GOAT, right? Coming along. It's a little slow, but it is coming along. All right. Figure out what on earth is going on with his legs. Okay, I think it's like this. I'm gonna stick with our original theme, which is the straps do not get painted. Oh, Djokovic is the... Okay, I don't know anything past Federer, but okay. Makes sense. I watched this kid do like an adorable interview of him kind of trolling him, where he said something like, there's a lot of livestock in Switzerland, but why are they calling you the goat, or something like that. It was pretty funny. And then he said something like, what did he say? He said something like, will you please not retire for another 20 years so that I can play you when I go pro, or something adorable like that. And then he goes, sure. And the kid's like, is that a promise? Adorable. Alright, we'll leave that strap on. Okay, we will leave that stuff. Okay. The work in progress, y'all. We're figuring it out as much as you guys are. Right? They were like, they were saying if this kid actually goes pro, he'll come out of retirement to play him, probably. It would be like an exhibition match. Next. 460? Yeah, right? It'll be like the Mike Tyson exhibition match. Which, did he end up doing those yet? I know he was like training for some sort of return exhibition match. Yeah, there's this is that's right. And then she also like was saying she was having like mental health issues from the interviews or something like that, which is why she didn't want to do them. But there's this one guy, I think it's on in the NFL maybe, where he was the "I'm just here so I don't get fined" interviews. That one was always really funny too. What was really funny about that one was that a lot of the reporters were starting to crack and just be really mean to him. The "I'm just here so I won't get fined" person, I forgot what his name is, and said something like, do you have to like, do you get pleasure out of just being a dick to everyone around you or something? And I was just thinking to myself, like, why do you think he's not going to answer your normal question? Why do you think you can rile him up to get him to say something about that? Like, I don't know, it's just kind of funny. Like, it felt like they showed their true colors. All right. It looks like a black bodysuit to me. Now oh yeah, and we got to do her soles of her feet. And then we will move on to our next one. All right, one last black bodysuit to do. They're already starting to see a little bit more definition about them. Like, you can kind of see a better idea what they're supposed to look like. So that's good. It means we are getting closer to our desired outcome. Whew. Exhausting work. This is a Game Chops soundtrack. That is all guaranteed to be royalty free. So, but it's a Spotify like collection of playlists that I made of Game Chops songs that kind of fit the vibe of what we're going for, basically. But it's because of that, it's a lot of video game soundtrack. left side done. The right side to the back. Just line. Okay. Right, done. Slowly working our way down the figure. This is going to be the hardest part. Like, this is the most finicky part where we're just kind of going in and getting all these little cracks and areas. But it gets better after this. Do this front chest piece again. Right. Well, Hey, that's crazy. You can actually see the finger poking through the trigger eye or whatever, the opening for the trigger. Kind of crazy. Really good sculpt. Alright, got both these done. Pants. Be able to move on to the armor the last 30 minutes or so. This is kind of hard because I don't have it on a stand, but we'll be mitigating that once we do some of our base armor colors, because that will be the same color for the jetpack. Once the jetpacks are painted in that color, we'll be able to, what do you call it? We'll be able to mount these on their flight stands, and then it'll be a lot easier to handle. Hard to tell what's going on there. I think it's supposed to be black. Get it. There we go. And all that's left is to do the bottom of the feet. Oh, so who else has an army of people we know, like who you can play with? Ben is working on his own Imperial army right now. And then on top of that, I'm actually trying to, like, this is my Rebels army that I want to do, but I also am like trying to have like 2 starter armies so that I can play with people who are like interested in trying it. Hey Arnum, good to see you again. How have you been? I know I've been absent for a little bit. Starting your move tomorrow? Awesome. You feeling ready? Not particularly. Yeah. Are you moving things yourself, or are you hiring like a company to do it for you? I don't know how much stuff you're dealing with, so it may not make as much sense to hire someone. Oh, no internet till the 21st? Yeah. That makes sense then. I don't know how long I could actually survive without internet. Not very long, probably. Alright. Pretty serviceable. Alright, let's go ahead and see about trying to lighten this color now so that we can get our armor tone. You don't have a lot of stuff? Well, that's good at least. So what we'll be using is we're going to use pale gray blue. The reason we do this is, remember I said we had dark sea blue in our black, giving it a slight bluish tint. So we're going to lighten it with this gray that has a slight bluish tint to it as well. So what I typically do is I put it on like one side of it, like so. Then we're going to mix it in. What color we're working with. Let's see. We're looking for like a dark gray. Ah, yeah, that's coming out now. That's exactly what I want. Exactly what. Good. That looks good. I also realized that I think you're going to be mostly your PC, D&D books, art stuff, fight stick, and guitar. Yep, the essentials, right? The essentials. I do think these helmets are supposed to have some amount of black on them, but we're gonna ignore that for now. Let's go ahead and start with all these armor plates that are not the helmet, are not the jetpack. The jetpack's actually on here indicating that it wants to be same dark black. Not sure. You're moving in with 2 buds? Hey, that's awesome. Yeah. Buy new PC desk and bed for your room. Dude, this sounds really exciting, man. Sounds like you're really gonna like it. So yeah, we're gonna use this gray now. This gray is gonna go onto the armor plates that we had originally. As you can kind of see, this is what the scheme is going to be that we have to work with. Guys. This is the part where we get to be a little bit more careful now that we've already gone up to the line. You're going to focus on your, looking at the Freddy desk from IKEA. Haven't dealt with that one personally myself, but I mean, pretty much anything from IKEA is pretty decent stuff. So, I'm sure you can't go wrong with it. But yeah, so you're going to be focusing on your art. See where that takes you this summer? That seems like a good idea to me. Have you had any more, like, I don't know if breakthrough is the word I'd use, but like, have you had any more like ideas or thoughts on what you want to do, like career-wise? You're doing, yeah, I remember you said you were in multimedia design. You just didn't know what you wanted to, like career-wise, what you wanted to do with it, since it was such like a broad field, right? Where I want to go with it. It's also nice that we still have access to our black hide. We can actually like come in and do touch-ups as well on the fly. You've been thinking about esports, but otherwise it's probably more of a degree you want on paper. Then you can get a job that you need to survive while maybe being creative. You have most fun with being creative. Yeah, I agree, like in the sense that, you know, you should be doing something that you like, right? You shouldn't be just forcing yourself to do something just because. I think doing something that you like makes a lot of sense. We're gonna experiment with making this jetpack black. I think that's actually gonna look pretty good. Of course, we'll highlight these up so that it doesn't look just monochromatic. This will have like a bit of a pattern on it. I think we'll put a pattern on it. But yeah, being creative, I think, lets you, I don't know, just like, lets you feel like you're, I don't know, to me it gives me more of a sense of purpose, that's for sure. Just like expressing myself in some way or another. I think it's self-expression for me. Like, yeah, being creative is nice, but ultimately, as long as I'm expressing myself. These are going to look really dark, but the armor markings and stuff will help a lot. It's just going to start to look very dark for a second. It just only looks like a big gray, like, blob, basically. But I think once we start getting the armor markings down and stuff like that, it'll look better. Though these, in general, do look very shadowy. Got a lot of story ideas and characters in your brain. Think something like a webtoon or a comic would be a cool thing to do. Heck yeah, yeah. That'd be pretty interesting. You'd like get a bit of that Reddit following. Go from there. We're gonna take a quick break from him because I need to make sure that I get these jetpacks done on these flyers so that I can get them mounted on flight stands next time. We'll go ahead and slight detour to do that. Yeah, the Berserk author did pass away. It was really tragic. There's so many stuff that's inspired from Berserk. It's kind of crazy. I did not know this, but apparently the Hunter x Hunter author, his health has been pretty poor as well, so he's been training people. But his plan for the for the manga, if he passes away, is that his wife will finish it for him. And you'd think to yourself, like, huh, okay, like, I wonder what her credentials are. Apparently his wife is the author of Sailor Moon. This kind of like the power couple there. Yeah, apparently. At least he has a backup plan, but I'm not exactly sure what the plan for the rest of the Berserk is going to be with his passing. Actually, I don't know if I'm going to be able to mount these guys after all. I think I need to also do the belts around the back and kind of get space. I think I'll just leave them off for now. Really itching to get them on their flight stands, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Okay. another backpack. Yes. Actually, no. Let's go back to this guy. We already started after all. So it's really inspiring, and just Twitter art makes me so happy. Yeah. I need to read Berserk, actually. It is a confession I must make that I have not read it yet, but it is on my to-do list of stuff that I need to watch for sure, read for sure. Okay. Okay, see, once you start actually sketching in armor, it starts to make a lot more sense. Less messy. Yeah, let's try and finish this guy's armor first, just in case we aren't able to perfectly replicate this color next time. Let me check my music. Oh, there it is. Had me worried there for a second. Bit. I'm not sure if we're gonna finish this one for 411, but we're gonna give it our best. While also not rushing. Can you link your OCs that you've had commissioned? Yeah, sure, go ahead. Yeah, you can do it in the chat if you want. That's perfectly fine. This. I guess we'll make the tops and bottoms of these canisters. I think I want the guns color as well. We'll see. Opie Kanoba. How's it going? Oh dang, we're being raided? With a party of 128, jeez. Hello everyone. Jeez. Hello, Barbie Jim. We are just painting some Star Wars Legion Mandalorians right now. Doing my best to do Clan Vizsla. Okay, Arnhem. Yeah, that sounds good. Alright, let's go ahead and do the knee pads and the actually wait, got that bottom chest plate we haven't done yet. let me check this link out. Oh, dang. That looks pretty good. So they commissioned that for you? Yeah. What are you using it for now? Is it like a logo? You just thought it looked good? As in like they made it for you, right? I'm sorry, I just want to make sure that I'm understanding it correctly. Oh, the entire bottom boot is black with the exception of the top. I see. That makes a lot of sense. You have it as your Twitter PFP, and it's an original character that you'd like to use in an art or a story. Oh, gotcha. And another... Oh, that guy looks interesting. Kind of has that, what do you call it? Like Final Fantasy aesthetic to it, where there's like this large amount of belt buckles being used in many different places. Gazelle1, thanks for the follow. Also, Varlby Jen, thanks for the follow. I think I missed that at the beginning. Thank you all for watching. Alright, yeah, let's try and do the rest of that boot black and actually see how that ends up looking, because I'm kind of curious. Yeah, I do like this look a little bit better. This is... Yeah, well, technically off, so we'll do that a little bit as well. So these are your 3 current ones, and then through art you will probably draw a bad looking version of all of them before slowly becoming better, then redesign them ever so slightly, most likely. Hey, I like that. That's like almost like a proof of concept for your character idea, and then you can like go from there and iterate on it. I like that idea. Well, hey, yeah, you should definitely give it a try. I'm all for it. I think it'll, it gives you something to work for, and I think it would go great. I think the best advice I can give is just start, basically, because you're gonna make mistakes or whatever. So just getting started and figuring it out as you go, I think, is a good way to do it. The Fuzz, thanks so much for the follow. It's very overwhelming. I haven't had this many viewers before, so thanks for bearing with me. Okay. Well, I think we've made some really good progress today. Yeah, overall, let me give a bit of recap of where we got today. It's a little bit more boring of a step since we're mostly just doing black bodysuits today, but That being said, these are our little class photo of where we're getting on this. So it will get more interesting. There are white armor designs that go onto the armor parts and all that stuff. So next time we'll be just chugging along like we always do. That being said, it's pretty much 11 o'clock where I am right now, 11 a.m. So that is typically around the time that this stream ends. Thanks so much, y'all, for the raid. That was very unexpected, and I'm really honored that y'all did that. That being said, so for all the people that are new to the channel, we do paintings on Sundays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Central. We are working basically through my Star Wars Legion army right now. If you want to check out the other days, on Thursdays at 8:45 Central, we do just various video games on my backlog. And then at 9 a.m. to 11 on Saturdays Central, we play Tekken, actually. So play some Brian rank. But if you're here for the painting, always here Sundays from 9 to 11 Central. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming and giving a follow and all that. I really appreciate it. I hope the rest of your Sunday goes really well and you have a good finish to your weekend. So, all right, everyone, I'm going to sign off here, but thanks so much again.